Hunter, I have no idea where it's at. Y'all, can y'all hear me in the chat? My gosh, where do you even plug this charger in?
Into the other side.
I know, but is that it? This ain't the right piece. There's another one somewhere like that. Looks just like that. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hunter, it'll look just like that. It'll have a black box on it.
I know the computer turned up.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, they can hear me.
It could be in that basket right there where our electronics. This is where all our electronics are. So
Hand me that cross right there and let me move it out your way.
maybe you could put it in an electronic basket.
I don't know, but I really wish I knew where the charger was to my laptop. Because I don't know how to do this thing through my phone. Alright guys, I'm pulling up the chat. Hello AJ. Let me share this. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I might have found it.
Y'all, I can't find the charger to my laptop, so I'm having to do it on my phone. And with me doing it on my phone, I can't. I don't know how to share the link and stuff. Let me see it.
What, next further to the side?
Let me see this. Yeah, but there's a box that's got a smaller, it'll be like that, but it's got a smaller piece on the end. You can hear me? Good. Alright, I'm just going to wait for a few people to get in here. Oh, I did find my charger. Guys, yay! I found the charger to the laptop. Alright, let me see. Let me see if this works. Let's see. Turn that big light on. Pull that string right there on the fan.
So how about now keep up with it? I found it. Put it back in here.
Hush, Hunter.
Just put it back in here when you get done.
I got to make sure this is the right one. Oi. Alright, I think I found the charger to the laptop.
Just put it back in that basket so you always know.
Hey, Jillian, how are you, darling? Who all do we have? I know I was supposed to start at 9, but the hubby called, so I got held up talking to him. Yes, I found the charger. And if there's anyone that wants to come on, I will share the link with you. I'm getting my laptop pulled up now. I don't know how to do it from my phone to share the link and all that. So I found my, my son found my charger to my laptop. And I've been in the process of rearranging and remodeling my bedroom. So it's a hot mess and I'm a hot mess. Hello, Miss Candace. How is everyone doing? Hello, Miss Janice. Yes, I'm heartbroken. Completely heartbroken, y'all. I'm learning as I go. I'm challenged too, but I'm learning. Alright, got the laptop on. No, I'm being serious. My heart does hurt. Will you cut that light out? Well, here, I need to plug this light in first. Let's see how I can do this. I'm trying to get situated, guys. Hand me that extension cord right here. I think I can unplug that. Plug that into that like that. Alright. We're getting it. We're getting it. We're getting there.
On that picture? Look how skinny I used to be.
Yeah, that's why I'm heartbroken. I do have a heart. I do have a heart. Okay, turn the big light out. Put that back where it goes. Y'all need to be getting in the bed. Wow, I haven't been on my laptop in so long. Let's see if I can. No, I want you to put it up, Hunter. Put it back on the shelf. That's how stuff gets missing. Do 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 do. Do do do. Hello, Lynn. Welcome. I've got to make some mods in here too. Cheryl, I see your comment and I'm getting ready to respond once I get this set up and going. It's all good. It's all good. That's why I leave my comments open. They're all welcome to an opinion. I mean, what's the saying says? Opinions are like a-holes. Everyone has one. So, yeah. But there's also crossing, boundaries. But the main topic that I do want to touch on, that I want to start with, I actually made some wrote down some thoughts, is accountability. Do more with it. I don't know what it's asking. And I may just have to do it this way tonight because I haven't turned this computer on in like a month. So it's probably going to want to update and all that mess. But I wish I knew how to share it to my... Does anyone know how to share it to your Hangouts from your phone? Because usually I just have the link sent to my Hangouts and I come on that way. And then it comes through Hangouts instead of actually YouTube. But I do need to make a mod. I thought this was open discussion. I have no hatred in my heart. I just asked a question. Exactly. And I'm going to address you. Now finish setting up Chrome by downloading the app on your phone and tablet too. I don't want that on my phone or tablet. Sorry. I am very accountable for my actions. So you're mistaken there. And like I said, everyone has their right to their own opinion. A lot of some people see it different ways. I can't get out of work, so I'm just going to do it this way for now. Credentials revoked. Login. I don't know what all that means. I don't think whimpering like a puppy was necessary. That was rude. I hope the stream replays. It has something to do with Google Plus. Google Plus, Cheryl. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up to your comment. Let me reread it again so I can make sure I address it correctly. Okay, I want to know why you didn't let Trisha know who you were when you were standing right in front of her. I mean, you talked a mighty big talk, but was like you whimpered like a little puppy. I'm just curious, maybe is what you're saying. Okay, here's the dealio. Anyone that knows me, and that I've, talked with or has followed me or anything, knows I have always kept a neutral stance when it came to Trisha. There was, no attacking or whatever. I always tried to be the one to kind of calm her down, so to say. Tracy is 100% correct. I did not go approach her with malicious intentions. How do I make someone a mod? It says go to channel, report, remove, put user in timeout, or block. And I don't want to do that. Maybe I can do it from this one. I've always stayed neutral. Because, when you watch someone or you follow someone or you build a friendship or relationship, you relate with that person somehow, some way. You share some kind of common interest or so what have you. And I have always said that I thought that, she had a call from my sister. I got a phone call. I'm back. I need to, hold on, let me put it on Do Not Disturb real quick. How do I do that? Hold on. Okay, y'all, I should be back. And And we should, Tracy, you should be a moderator now. Which, as long as anyone is not like bashing or just it's really out there, I want everyone to be able, you know, to have their opinions. Okay, but like I was saying, I don't know where y'all got that. I guess a lot of you think that my intentions were to fight Trisha if I saw her. That is totally 100% incorrect. That's not really where I wanted to start this, but I'll go ahead and answer your question. And it kind of throws me into where the whole plan, if I ran into her, which I was already there, I can't say everything because of legal issues, but I had a right to be there. I didn't actually go there to see her. Did I think I may would see her? Yes, I mean, I knew there was a chance, but those chances are very slim within the 15 minutes, 10 minutes that it took me to do what I was doing there. That's why it really shocked me when I looked up and saw her. But there were no malicious intentions there. I have 2 children. My fighting days are long gone. That was years ago. Was I surprised by her actions? Yeah, I was. But my thing is too, I would like to know what was told to her, because, and like I've said when I was speaking with Liz, where I live in the South. It is a norm to speak to everyone. When you are driving, passing somebody on the road, I don't care if you know them or not, they're going to throw their hand up, they're going to wave, they're going to nod their head. When you're in passing, you're going to say, hey, how you doing? What have you. I would have had a full-blown conversation with Trisha. I would have done an interview with her. But when I did approach her and spoke to her, I could tell that she was tired and was wanting, she said she was going to eat, get some food. So I just, let it go. I didn't want to hold her up. But there was no malicious intent behind it whatsoever. There was no intentions of fighting or anything like that. That's completely inaccurate. And I've seen the word stalking been thrown around. No, you need to look up your definition of stalking. Trisha was friendly to me. Yes, she was. And I was friendly to her. I've always been friendly to her. Matter of fact, I got DM. Look, and this is the thing. Once you, put your life out there and put yourself out there, people, my DMs stay full. You don't have to follow and watch somebody's every video. And, as you know, Trisha puts herself out there. You're exactly right, AJ. But you don't have to. And you made out that she was off for saying she was from 11 and I was top of it. That's where... I get that, Flower Child. But that's where a lot of people, are incorrect. No, my intentions, no. Like I've said, I'm not going to jail over nobody, over nothing, unless it has to do with my children. Now, if they were in harm or, it had something to do with them, without a doubt, I would die for my kids. But I've always, tried to reach out. On a video the other day, I got a message saying that she read off an email that I sent her in July. which is true. And, you know, she tries to act like she had no idea who I was. There's no way. I mean, I recognize names that are in my chat. Okay. Trisha and I had, you know, started communicating a year ago. A year. I recognize y'all's names. A lot of times, you know, friendships are built outside of YouTube. You know, there have been DMs exchanged on Twitter. And then I think the only email I sent her was that one that she read, but there were messages on Twitter between, you know, the two of us. And some of them date back as far as March. You're completely right, Flower Child. But the thing I'm getting to, and it really, you know, I didn't start thinking about it until today. Like you said in your statement earlier, your comment, that Trisha was calm, you know, when I spoke to her. Somebody, what happened was she, you know, I was leaving. I was already backed out of the parking space, leaving, when she came back, you know, out. And somebody had called her, and I really wonder what they said to her, because obviously it was put in her head, because I've never attacked her. Never. Yes, she pissed me off because she talked, you know, she was having one of those moments, and she went off about my children and their daddy being deceased. But, I mean, that's part of YouTube. When you put yourself out there, you're going to have the hate. You're going to have the trolls. You have to, you know, let it roll off. People are going to say things, but you have to be, you know, let it go. You have to take it with a grain of salt. And, you know, that pissed me off, but I've always been the type of person, I see a lot of myself in B. I always think that I can fix people. I've always been a person that helps people. And like Pam, you know, says that she's mentoring Trisha. And I just totally got off topic. And Flower, I completely, you know, I understand. But that goes both ways. You know what I mean? Somebody, whoever it was, which I think it was Pam, is the one that called her. She didn't, with me saying, you know, I've never attacked her, there's no reason she thought that I was, you know, that I wanted to fight her. Where that came from, I still don't, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm thinking it came from the person that called her. And if I wanted, you know, if I really wanted her on a live stream, I would have, when I approached her, I would have had that camera in her face. I had a selfie stick because I do vlog a lot. You know, when I'm driving around or whatever. When I take trips. Like this weekend I'm going to Georgia. I'll vlog that. There's videos on my channel from where I went to Kentucky. I've been to the Bahamas. And, you know, when I go see different stuff at the beach down there, I vlog it. Myrtle Waves this summer, it was vlogged. But that situation goes both ways. What if I had a gun? Which I do, but I mean, I don't carry it on me. And, you know, people are crazy. You never know. And I got pissed off, really. I was calm. You know, that's the only reason I got pissed off is because of what I went through. Her actions pissed me off. It wasn't that I was, you know, wanted to be violent towards her or aggressive. That was completely false. That wasn't the case. Somebody put that idea in her head when she came back out there. And that's why she said what she did. Now, do I think if I had threw that car in park and got out that damn car and was going to, you know, whoop her ass, I don't think it would have went that way. I mean, she had the dog and everything else. If you come in the fight, no, you'd have put that dog in the room. Everything else. Well, and I mean, a lot of people, you know, would have pulled a gun out on her. Her daughter says she is sick of her mom live streaming. And you know what? That's another thing that bothers me is, and that was my point to Trisha that I wanted to make to her when she did go off on me, is when, you know, I kind of got an attitude because, you know, she got me revved up. But I can sit there and have a calm conversation. Like me and Les said, I could take her, you know, out to lunch or whatever and sit there and talk with her. I can do that. Even if I don't hate nobody. Hate is a very strong word. And I was raised in a Christian family, and you're not going to make it to heaven with hate in your heart. I don't hate nobody. You're exactly right, Flower Child, exactly right. And another thing you have to think of is, you know, when you put yourself out there, you became if you look in her description of her YouTube channel, you know, you become she's an entertainer is what she says. You become a YouTube personality. Even the bigger channels, I have 2 children, yes. They watch, you know, YouTube also. So, of course, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. You have these people where you get known and people are gonna, you know, let me go ahead and clarify this too. And I put it on Do Not Disturb. Sorry, y'all. I have it on Do Not Disturb, but for some reason, my phone is still ringing. That was my grandma. But anyways, even my grandma, for example, she does not come to my house unless I talk with her, because I don't believe in that. I don't like it. It's just, I think it's rude. So that is that. And I do not like this setup, y'all. That's why I'm all over the place. And, you know, like I told her, what is crossing the line? How much of your life do you put on the internet? I know, hey Amanda, I know when I stream, for example, you know, if I'm doing a vlog in the morning while I'm taking my children to school, I do not, you know, I flip the camera to make sure that, you know, their school signs aren't showing, or road signs, or, you know, you need to be careful of your surroundings. It's just like the shooting, and we had the country music festival here at the beach during the summer, which I think this was the 3rd year we had it. And it's a 3 or 4 day event, like the Jason Aldean concert, and I wanted to get my daughter tickets for Christmas this year. But now I'm leery. I don't even want to take her there because of what happened. I agree 100%. And, you know, I understand that, y'all, there's 3 sides to every story. You know, this side, that side, and the truth. And from a legality standpoint, I did nothing wrong. Did she? Yes, she did. And when you say that, you know, she's led and influenced, you're absolutely correct. Somebody put it in her head that I had a malicious or aggressive, you know, intention towards her, which is completely false. Yeah, I got back in my car. I was leaving. Alright, I'm going to try to catch up on the comments for just a second, y'all. And, you know, I'm just going to say that the reason I said that it was heartbroken, and I do not, you know, agree with talking about people's children. I have 2 children of my own. But when, you know, the child is having to be the mediator, there's a problem. And let me just say this. I love psychology. That's what I went to school for. And your childhood, it trickles over into your adulthood. And, you know, you don't want to put that pressure on her. As y'all have seen, you know, why would you there's no way in the world that I would stream that online. To each his own. Yes, I get that. But for me personally, no. No, 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 no. There is a line that you cross, okay? And you can clearly hear, you know, the child screaming and cussing, and she, you know, she's going to school, she's working, she has enough on her, but what, son? You need to get it and get in the bed. It's 10:21. You got like 9 minutes before it's lights out, and you better be getting to sleep. She said she was sick of being ignored by TT, and every time I come. Exactly, AJ. And that is the point that I want to get to, okay? You know, the last time her and her husband separated, she started opening up about her childhood, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I was molested by my stepfather. I basically felt like my mother chose him over me. It was the summer between my 5th and 6th grade year. I lived in Texas, and I would always come back here during the summer because my dad lived here and my grandma. And I told my cousin during that summer, and I made her promise, you know, not to tell anybody, but of course she told my aunt, and I ended up staying here for my 6th grade year. And you know, I was young, so I really didn't understand, you know, everything that was going on. But from what I was told, he wasn't supposed to be there when I went back. And I went back the next school year. Well, when I went back, he was still there. And, of course, I went to showing my behind, getting in trouble. So my mom packed my stuff and sent me on a plane down back here to my daddy. Well, my daddy was an alcoholic. I lasted 6 months there. Yes, he was still there when I got back. I stayed 6 months with my dad. He wasn't getting me to school, you know, like I was supposed to. So then my great grandma she came and got me, and that is who raised me. So I had that broken, you know, relationship with my mom. I know how that feels. And I'm not an only child. I have me, and I have a full brother, which I don't count the half steps and all that. Matter of fact, one of my sisters was calling me earlier. And that's why it cut out. But we had the same mother and the same father. Okay, well then she had 2 more children with this man that molested me. Which, you know, we had the same mom, different dads. And I basically felt like, you know, she started her family over. She had them when I was in middle school. So, you know, I was older and she was older. And I just feel like, you know, she threw me and my brother to the curb. And because when I say I had no relationship with her, I had none. I did not speak to her. I did not see her. She did not call me. She did not help my grandma financially. But my grandma is the one who saved me. Had I not had her to be my rock in my life and to guide me and direct me and, you know, help me work through all that, I probably would have been a mess. I know I would. There's no probably to it. I probably wouldn't even be living, to be honest with you. And that's where my drug addiction came from. You know, that's the reason I did drugs or got on narcotics was because I was numb. I didn't have to deal with my feelings. I didn't have to deal with anything. That was my coping mechanism. And my point was, if we don't work through those issues and deal with them, they never go away. They're just deep rooted. And you can tell that. It's me, 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 me. Even, you know, with her being an only child, I mean, with my grandma, I was raised the only child. That doesn't matter. My cousin was the only child. That does not matter. You know, she hasn't worked with the issues. And I want to touch on this really quick since I've already, you know, said that I was molested. I had a hard time with that. To this day, still, I'm very, very leery of trusting people. When I would sleep at night, I slept fully clothed from my head to my feet because that was my security. You know, he had more layers he had to go through, is the way that I looked at it. That's why I did it. Y'all can't hear me, darling? Jillian, can you hear me? I'm at home, and I have the Wi-Fi on. It should be okay. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things I had to work through, and it wasn't easy at all. Now, you know, I understand the thing with therapy. I have been sat in front of numerous psychologists, but I just don't feel comfortable. First of all, I don't like to talk about my problems anyways. I like to keep them inside and use like my pain and my suffering that I went through to help others. So sitting me in front of a psychiatrist and expecting me to talk to him is not gonna, no, I refuse to. But Flower Child, and this is what I've always said, you know, you get to a point in your life where you say, this is my story. This is what I've been through. And I use that to help other people. And that's what I say. When you watch someone or you follow someone, you relate to them somehow, some way. Now, the attention, no, I do not like it. I do not like all eyes on me. I don't like crowded places. I don't put myself out there. I don't care, you know, just like Katie asked today, you know, if you had a boob job, would you put your boobs out? No. That's just, no. I wouldn't. A lot of people actually don't know that. Some of them do. My close ones, you know, that I talk to, they know my story, in which that's why I started my YouTube channel. I'll tell you why I started it because, you know, as some of you know, my first husband, he passed away, which was the father of my children. We were married 10 years. And my husband that I'm with now, we've been together 7 years. And he is in federal prison for a gun. Yeah, I'm not showing my face because I look like a hot mess. I've been trying to remodel and rearrange my room, which I guess I could if y'all wanted me to. No, I am 36. I turned 36 in August 28th. I turned 36. A lot of people do. That's why in the jealousy thing, I don't get that. You know, your appearance is only, that's just what it is. It's your appearance. Your appearance does not make you who you are. Your insides is what makes you who you are. You know, your heart and your soul, you know, how you treat other people. If you think you're going to get, you know, far in life with your looks, No, that's only going to get you so far. And I am a true believer in every word that you speak, every action you have done, you are going to be held accountable for. You're going to have to answer for it. And I got lucky, I guess. My great grandma who raised me, she lived to be 95 years old. My little girl, well, I call her my little girl. She is my little girl, but she was born on her 90th birthday, which I thought, I got pregnant with her on Christmas, and she was born on my great grandma's 90th birthday. So she was like my little angel. And that is when I had her. That is when I put my, when I found out I was pregnant, that's when I put my addiction down. Yep. She was having her, they had a big party for her at church. And she was at her big shindig at church while I was up there having Miss Haley Jane. Then after the party, she came up there. Okay, I'm going to go over some of y'all's comments here. And then I have some topics that I wanted to talk about. But I think that has a lot to do with it. You know, she has those deep root. And like, you know, I wanted to tell her when she says, I Uber you to school, I do, you know, wash your clothes, I make sure you're fed. Yeah, that is the responsibilities of being a mom. Nobody gets a pat on the back for that. That is being mommy. That's what we do. Not only do I take my kids, drive them to school every morning because they want to go to a different school district than we live in. I drive them to school every morning. I have to pick them up every afternoon. You know, then you have football. My son plays football and baseball. My daughter plays softball and soccer. So, you know, it's just part of life. It's raising kids. Yes, I did. Let me tell you something. Your mind is a very powerful thing. I had a relapse. I lost my great grandma December of 2009, and I lost their daddy May the 9th, 2010. So 5 months later. And it was the night of our anniversary that he passed away, which was also the morning of Mother's Day. So that every Mother's Day, that's what I deal with, is his death. So when I lost both of them, it threw me into a spiral. Matter of fact, I did not actually come to terms with my great grandma passing away and going to her grave until about 3 years ago was the first time that I have been to her grave. And the vlog that I did on my channel is only the third time I've been there since she was buried. So I can still tell that, you know, I'm still dealing with it. And that's what threw me back into, you know, I relapsed. All right. Did anyone, the next issue I want to touch on, did anyone hear him say, so are you going to play that card? And that is the thing that I have a problem with. Mental illness. It's a real thing. Very true, Ocean Avenue. Mental illness is a real thing. I do have depression, and they have diagnosed me as bipolar. But, you know, I've always said I don't act that way, okay? I have a problem with that. And, you know, it says a lot for that coming, you know, out of her husband's mouth. You cannot, in the topic, you know, the accountability, there comes a time you have to be accountable for your actions. I have to be accountable for mine. That's just like, you know, like I said, some people, you know, they totally disagree. Okay, I'll own that. If you disagree, okay, I can agree to disagree. But do not use that card for your actions, because it doesn't work that way. And another thing that bothers me, let's talk about enabling. Okay? This, whether it's addiction, whether it's behaviors, whatever it is, that's just like if you have a child pitching a fit, 9 times out of 10, they're doing it because they want attention. You have to deal with the behavior. If you do not deal with the behavior does not stop. And to act like it's normal, that is enabling. No, it's not normal. That's just like, we'll go to the incident. Who does that? Okay, she says that she was involved in a hit and run. No, ma'am. Who does that? You are grown. You have children that are almost grown. You have to be accountable for your actions. And, you know, a lot of us have got dragged. And she, you know, this criminal record and a convict and this and that. You know, everybody's done wrong. But the problem is, have you got caught? Have you been caught? No, she has not. Okay, you know what, Flower Talk, I was just talking on the phone to my husband about this, okay? Being held accountable. A mistake is, you know, an action that you mess up one time. If you do it again and again and again, it's no longer a mistake. Okay? No, that wasn't a mistake, and say I'm sorry and move on. And we see the cycle continue. We've seen this cycle over and over and over. And, you know, I'm not saying that she, as a mother, you love, you know, I have unconditional love for my children. There's nothing I wouldn't do for them. And, you know, within boundaries, I would do anything, you know, that they asked me to. And what I've never understood, it is very obvious that the problems within, you know, what she's going through and what she's facing, they're self-inflicted. And, you know, when you are held accountable, the decisions or the actions, that you make, what justification, is there for them? What have you done to make it right? What consequences have followed for your actions? And there's no way in the world I could, have such chaos in my life by my actions. And that's something she has to understand. It's very clear that, she, and I don't understand. Y'all help me understand this and tell me what your thoughts are. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit. You're not gonna make me quit. You think you're gonna make me quit? You're gonna knock me down? I'm gonna come back stronger. What does that mean? Many of us have said multiple times, who cares if she has a YouTube channel? Who cares? But you have to step back and say, what are causing, all these problems in my life? Sit down, get to the root of it. I'm reading y'all's comments, guys. Sean has said, oh, exactly right. And when he said that the other night, that look at this, bam, bam, bam has happened and nothing changes, that says a lot. That says a lot. And even tonight, in his own words, he said, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'll say when I'm wrong. But she can't. You have to. You have to own it. And that's my concern. This has been going on for over a year now. And you can clearly tell, that there are people getting hurt. Not only, within her family, but there's other people, out in YouTube that it's affecting their real lives. And that's, crossing that boundary. And, the allegations have been totally false. Totally false. And I have a problem with that. And, I've always said, it's so sad because a lot of us have come together because of the things that have went on. And, a lot of us, are good-hearted, kind people. And if she would just step back for a minute, a lot of us came together because, we tried to have that friendship and relationship with her. And she could have been a part of that and had friends. And, what bothers me too is her wrenchies in her chat. It's like, they're enabling her. Which I saw one going there tonight and was like, no, this is wrong, da-da-da-da-da. That's what you need to do. Call it. I don't care if you get mad at me. Okay? If I'm wrong, then you tell me I'm wrong. I'm going to be upset if you don't. You're exactly right, Cheryl. Exactly right. And I think something, you know, that she has to find, thank you, Lynn, something she has to find is independence. I'm a single mom. My husband's been gone almost 4 years now, which he'll be home this coming July. Has it been easy? Hell no. And I'm just going to put this out there. Even with my first husband, I worked 2 jobs. I went to school, college. I finished high school. I had a full scholarship to go to Clemson University. I did 1 semester. I got into, you know, I was younger. I was 16 when I first hit my senior year, so I was 17 when I graduated. Got into the party scene, and, you know, I wanted to come back home. So I took like a year or 2 out of college, just working, Well, then I went back part-time. But I worked 2 jobs, put myself through school, and at that time I raised Haley. It can be done. It's all in what you want. And I noticed, you know, she said she couldn't work because she had to take Becca here, there. Yes, you can. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it. And that's just like, you know, she lives in a touristy place like I do. I work 2 jobs. I have a part-time job where I clean condos at the beach. It's good money. My daughter does it with me. You know, that gives her money. There comes a time, you know, you got to stand on your own 2 feet. And, you know, like she said, it was her word, she has nowhere to go. I know how that feels. My first husband, his granddaddy owned a heating and cooling business. And that's who he worked for. He made good money. I worked for the county for 7 years, working with disability and special needs. And I made good money, but no amount of money is going to keep me into a relationship where I'm not happy or it's abusive. And, you know, you got to step out of that and step on your own 2 feet. Ocean, have a good night. Yes, Jillian, that's who I was referring to. But, you know, the other ones, you can't enable that behavior. You can't. And I actually got sent a recording where she was saying, you know, talking about where the cops came earlier today. And she was like, I know you've seen my YouTube videos, but, and y'all, I'm sorry, but I think, you know, she puts on an act. And I really think that was what she was going to say. She stopped herself, but, you know, that's not really who I am. I could be completely wrong, but that's just, you know, how I feel. And the thing is that really it's not healthy at all. And I mean, it's like a car wreck. When you drive by, everybody stops to look. And that's what people are doing. You know, they're watching it because it's like a train wreck. And it's not healthy for, I mean, I don't understand what this is. You know, she says YouTube means so much to her, but my gosh, it's making your life hell. I'm 50 years old. Any marriage, you know, it comes with your ups and downs. It's work. It is work. And then, you know, she says, well, who is the one that, you know, gets a check for being crazy? No, darling. You know, she's got plenty of sense. And if she will work through her issues, she could use those to help other people. And that's why, you know, I leave my comments open. I want my chats open. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. That is how you grow as a person. You take constructive criticism. Now, yeah, there's a difference in a troll or what have you, but, you know, you keep an open mind. And I pray, you know, I feel the internet, I mean, who am I to say, you know what I mean? Who am I? I'm not judging her by no means, so I don't want anybody to think that. But, you know, there's a time where, just like with Facebook, Facebook used to be full of drama. What did I do? I deactivated mine for about 3 years. You know, shut it off. Yes, AJ. And, you know, it's attention. I don't care if it's negative attention or positive attention. It doesn't matter. That's just what, you know, she's desiring is attention. And, you know, I noticed she said, you know, asked Becca, you know, when's the last time you've sat down with me and asked me if I was all right? Cut that live stream off. Close the computer. You know, close your phone down and take that time, because trust me, I mean, in a blink of an eye, they're grown and they're gone. What's going on, guys? Y'all talking about flour? Rosa, who are you talking to, darling? She isn't. I don't know what's going on. I'm lost about that. But it looks like I'm getting my computer to work, so that's good. I want to pull up, it might buffer for just a second, because I want to pull up, oh, I got you. I want to pull up the notes that I had real quick. Am I back? No, it's not over. I was just looking at the notes I had. She is encouraged by Sean, though. And you know what? That's what I think. Which my husband and my son, they play video games, but there comes a time, you know, when you have to shut that down, and you can tell she's not happy. You know, she says she's depressed, she's not happy, and those were her words. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm like bashing her, which I think some of the things she's done are very vile. And I mean, I think Katie is hurt by her action. And this body shaming thing, y'all, I don't get down with that. I really don't. That is childish. You got to remember you're setting an example, you know, for your children and others around you. Especially, you know, if she's trying to develop a following. You know, what kind of example are you setting? And that's just like with the car incident. You know, if you're going to be in that spotlight, then you're going to be held to a higher standard, actually. And that behavior is totally unacceptable. And I really feel, you know, it's time that, well, she's going to have no choice but to be held accountable for the incident that took place. She has no choice in that situation. Exactly. And you know what? Sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, we all, lose ourselves sometimes. I'm guilty of it. Has this been easy? No, it's not been easy, no way, shape, or form, going through this. I feel like my life has been flipped upside down. My soulmate was took from me. Here I am. And we actually have 5 children altogether. And which is a whole nother story, but the mother of his children is in prison. And I sat my kids, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, I had a really bad day. And I mean, I have bad days, but that's normal. And I told my kids, I feel like I've lost myself. Wow, that's playing. Hold on, let me mute this. I feel like I've lost myself. Wow, that's playing. Hold on, let me mute this. How do I mute it? I feel like I've lost myself. Wow, that's playing. Hold on, let me mute it. Okay. I've always been a very organized person. I stay on a schedule. I like to know what to expect. A very, set routine. And now that my, children are older, they don't need me as much. And I don't have as big a family, as I did. So even cooking, meals is different. It's a lot harder to cook for just me and 2 children than, me, him, and 5 kids. So, even us, sitting down, eating as a family, a lot of things, have changed. And depression sets in. This last year has been, hard on me. Last September, I was diagnosed with cancer, which, came out of nowhere. Never in this world would I expect that. Then 2 or 3 days before school started, I broke my ankle. So I've actually just got where I could walk good. So yeah, I went, I spiraled into a deep depression. And, you just have to, it's like you hit rock bottom and you realize, what have I become? I've completely lost myself. And that's where my weight gain come to. Somebody was in here trolling earlier, where that picture come from that you posted on my Twitter. Well, I mean, that's what I looked like before my husband went to prison. But when you start dealing with all these, issues in life, you get depressed. And I refuse, to turn to drugs to cope with it. And I guess food, and it's not really even, I don't eat that much. Well, I just kept gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. And, I told my doctor there's something wrong. Well, they finally tested my thyroid, and I've lost 30 pounds, but, still, you got to pull yourself out of it, and it's not easy. Right now, Jillian, I have been through 4 surgeries. I had melanoma. Yes, it does. Absolutely, stress causes weight gain. I had melanoma. It had already spread to my lymph nodes. It was in stage 3. So they had to go in, take all my lymph nodes out, which I had that surgery December, end of December, 1st of January. I had to have a drain tube, and that's, I know probably some of y'all probably heard her throwing my GoFundMe around out there. Well, when I was going through this, you can't work with the drain tube stuck in you and you stitched up. Sorry, but you can't. But like I told her, I was blessed. You know, I didn't collect anything from my GoFundMe. And God blessed me, you know, to bring me through it. Was it easy? No. But, you know, me and my children made it through it, so that's all that matters. And, you know, just dealing with all that. Then, after I had, like, my second surgery, my daddy, come to find out he had cancer and was on his deathbed. So me and my half-sister from North Carolina, she came down, and the week of Thanksgiving, it was between me and her to take care of him, you know, 24/7, because he actually got to the point where, you know, he didn't know what was going on, and he passed away the day before Thanksgiving. So it's been a lot in the past year, and, you know, my message to her would be, before you throw those hurtful, spiteful, evil words out there, you never know what a person's going through. You have no idea. And I haven't let it get, well, I mean, it's depressed me and it's threw me into a depression with weight gain or whatever, but I've always said, you know, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. I've been through it all, pretty much. What else could come my way other than me losing one of my kids, and I would totally lose it. But immunotherapy is where I'm at now. It is a 5-year treatment. And I have to go get a PET scan. I think it's once every 6 months, which mine's coming up December. I've got to go. And then I have to go see a specialist every 3 months. No, I'm fine. You know, I do have days that I get upset. That's just like, you know, this weekend I did do a lot of crying, and that's something, you know, what is your therapy? What do you use? What are your coping skills? And mine has always been either music or writing. And that's, you know, I'm not a big talker. I'm really not. I'm actually quiet. And I'll get a notebook and, you know, I'll just write. And that, I guess that stemmed, you know, from me being a child, dealing with all those things. I wasn't comfortable, you know, trusting people to talk to them. So I always journaled. And it's just carried over into my adulthood, and that's how I get my feelings out, is writing. And of course, you know, I don't want to, my daughter's, you know, she's old enough to talk to her about it, but I don't want to put those problems on her. You know, my childhood was bad enough, and I always said, you know, I wanted to give my children a better life. I didn't want them to go through the things that I went through. So I don't want to put that, you know, on them. I don't want to put that stress on her. I want her to do her schoolwork and focus on her grades. And, you know, the ignoring, you know, we can ignore and, you know, basically try to not give the attention, but it hasn't gotten any better. Nothing's changed. So that obviously isn't working. You know, when is enough enough? When is enough enough? Is there anything else y'all would like to speak about? This really didn't go as planned because my computer wasn't acting right, but I've got the charger now, so when I do a live stream tomorrow, it'll be a lot better, and I couldn't see, you know, my ideas and stuff that I had jotted down. And if any of y'all would ever like to live stream with me, you're more than welcome to, now that I found my charger. When they go petition. You know what? Sean could do that. And, you know, I noticed she said, you know, they want me committed, but for what? And you know what? Even in addiction, the first thing's always denial. You deny you have a problem. Yeah, Jillian, I'm over that. I mean, like I said, what I've been through in my life, that was nothing. Nothing. I had my children's father court ordered to rehab several times because I was his wife. I went through probate court and I had it done. Did it do any good? No. Because until somebody is ready to get help and they won't help, it's not going to work. But you know, that goes a lot deeper too. You know, that addiction stemmed from his mother and father, in which his mother passed away 9 months after he did. And you know something that really bothered me? This really, really, really got to me today. She made the statement that this is the most pressure she has ever been under in her life. Honey, let me tell you something. You haven't been through nothing yet. Nothing. If the biggest problem I had in my life was live streaming on YouTube and YouTube drama, I would have it made, because you could put a stop to that. Yeah, legally, they can hold you 90 days. After that 90-day mark, they had to release him, and that 6 months after treatment was voluntarily. I couldn't make him do that involuntary, but they can hold you 90 days by state law. And you know, a lot of programs, like the ones that he went to, when you go to a detox inpatient treatment, and let me say, there was something that I wanted to say. She said, oh, this is with the Rainbow thing. They said that Rainbow was in a mental institution, not a drug rehab. Okay? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. When he was first committed, guess where he went the first 72 hours? Bryan Psychiatric Hospital in Columbia. So yes, he was in a mental institution, but he was still there for drugs. So after that 72 hours, he was then transferred over to Morris Village in Columbia. Yeah, exactly, Julie. I mean, that is a drop in the bucket, you know, to some of the things that others have gone through and faced. A drop in the bucket. But that's, you know, with all that was going on, it really got me thinking, you know, what made her think that I wanted to fight her? What even put that thought in her head? Somebody did. And it wasn't me. But I will say, you know, don't put your life out there like that, man. Don't. Which I understand, you know, you want to share your life with people, and that's fine. But you know, you need to take precautions with doing that. And I mean, Peter Mon called her out a long time ago about putting her child's school up there. And you know, you just don't do stuff like that. This is my thing, you know, sometimes that's just like tonight there were almost 300 people in that chat watching all that mess go down. You've only got what, 4 people in there talking in that chat? You have no idea who those other hundreds of people are out there watching you. You have no clue whatsoever. And we all know there are some legit crazy people with no heart in this world. Well, you know what, Julie? I thought that she was, you know, when I saw her in the rearview mirror, I thought she was taking her license plate, taking a picture of her license plate. Well, that's fine. You know, do what you got to do. But I would, you know, I work at the beach. I was in the area checking for reservations for my child's prom. You have to get the reservations early, or you're not going to get them. And when I had the money, I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm a single mom, and I do what I can for my kids. And, you know, if I got it, then I'm going to go ahead and get it while I can. And that's her birthday present. So I thought that's what she was doing, you know, and that's why I said, honey, you could take a picture of my license plate. You don't bother me. And I thought that's what she was doing, but come to find out, you know, it was a video. But I really thought that she was live streaming it. But apparently she wasn't. It was just a video. And, you know, had I not, if you notice, I never put the camera up in Trisha's face. I never did that. That wasn't my intention, you know, at all. But had I not flipped when she threw, which I had totally, you know, when she did that, my anxiety and my adrenaline was so pumped up, I forgot that she even threw the ice cream cone on the hood. And that's what made me flip the camera around. When she threw the ice cream on the hood, that's when I flipped the camera off of me onto her. And, you know, which I'm glad I did, which I could have got the footage from the hotel, I'm assuming, you know, but we don't know what angles it caught or whatever. But I'm glad I did, because it did, you know, catch the whole thing. And had I not, you know, there's no telling, it could have went totally different. Totally different. Wow, it's already 11:15. I love talking with y'all. Y'all are so sweet. I do have a haul that I want to do that I actually went shopping the other day and got. And I believe me and Miss ATX are going to do a live stream this week about addiction. And you know, the stuff with B and Rainbow, it really makes me mad. Pisses me off. I think a lot of them. And it bothers me with Pam, you know. No, you can't control a person's behavior, but you also don't enable it. And if somebody's wrong, then you need to say they're wrong. I got some clothes and If you love hauls, honey, oh my gracious, then. I'm a shopaholic, which I don't know if a lot of y'all might not know. I have actually a clothing boutique, which is funny. You know, that's just to go to show. She says, you know, I was homeless and was in pajamas and stunk, da da da, which none of that bothers me. I mean, I don't care. Honey, you not paying my bills or taking care of me, your opinion really means nothing to me. But I also have a vinyl. I do vinyl decal machine. I have a vinyl decal machine and also embroidery machine. So I have a page on Facebook. That's another business that I own. It's called Cutest Cotton. So I do all kinds of stuff with that: hair bows, clothes, stickers to go on your car, decals for your shirts, like the boots I got. I have my initials embroidery on them. Makeup is a big weakness for me. I have bukus and bukus and bukus of makeup. Shoes, I'll do a video, you know, on my shoe collection. It's crazy. And my thing is, yeah, credit cards. I had to cut all mine up. I paid them off and cut them up. Online, eBay and Amazon, and there was another site. But then again, you had to think, I had at one time 6 kids. I was raising 6 kids by myself. I had all 5, you know, of our kids, and then I was also raising my niece. Yeah, you can find, here, I'll type my Facebook name, because I actually went and set it to private because of, you know, the YouTube, and you know how Trisha is about doxing you and all that stuff. So it used to be on public, but I went and set it on private because of that. But I'll type in the name, you can find me up under. Good. I'm glad I found my charger so I can do another one and be able to give out links and stuff. But I'm going to get off of here, and I enjoyed talking with all of y'all. It's, what, 11:20, and I got to get the kiddos to school in the morning. It's another day. But I love each one of y'all, and I will see you tomorrow. And, of course, y'all can follow me on Twitter. And it's BlessThisMesss on Twitter. Good night, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day tomorrow. And I'm glad y'all were here to chat with me. Okay, Jillian, I'll accept it for you.